Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the match number 3 of the Sistar Mortgage Women's National Championships 2021. We join the action with a big wicket, that of Chetna Prasad. The Western winning the toss, electing to bat first in the 3rd over. Chetna Prasad dismissed. She'll be disappointed with that, but some good bowling from Moksha Chaudhary, who had a really good first over. It only went for 1 run. Now following up, building on that pressure, able to get the crucial wicket. So first one goes down for the for the Western Conference, correction. Here at the Broward County Stadium. Conditions excellent for batting. We've got the sun out for the first time in this series in its full form. So I'm sure these females will be looking to get that value for runs on this quicker outfield. However, it's not an easy surface to start on. It can be a bit too paced. So some work to do for both these batsmen. And if you're wondering about Gargi Bogle, who was sensational in that last fixture where she got a match-winning 42 for the Western Conference, the selectors opting to give her a rest for today's encounter. Wants to see some other combinations. Sarah Farouk, Moksha Chaudhary, the two opening bowlers for the Eastern Central Conference. I like the attacking field as well by the skipper, Shabani Bhaskar. She's got that wide slip in place, almost like a gully fielder for that angle going into the left-hander. End of the over. 3 overs, done and dusted. This one down to the boundary. Won't get there though. So, a fruitful start thus far for the Eastern Central Conference. Getting the wicket. Making an early inroad into the 5th over. Remember, only 10 overs of this initial power play. One thing that these seamers, because they don't necessarily concentrate so much on that pace, they more look for the accuracy, and I think it's something that's very impressive with a lot of these medium pacers in the women's national setup. They try to be very consistent and hover around that 3rd or 4th stump line, especially outside the off stump. Here she goes again. This one in the air and dropped. Oh, heartbreak. It was just in the reach of the field at mid-off. She had 3 chances at it. She'd be extremely disappointed. Kandanala to go over mid-off and unable to get the elevation required. So she's been there for quite a while. They've done well to build the pressure with the dot balls. And you must say, this has been an excellent start from the Eastern Central Conference. Lasim Mulapudi, the batsman, in at 3 for the Western Conference. A fairy player, as we saw in the last game, helping her team win that contest in that T20 encounter in terms of the second innings being a revised fixture. She doesn't have the largest build, but I can tell you the heart, when she's at the crease, she believes she can hit every ball over the top. It was interesting to get the perspective from head coach Julia Price in the second game, where she spoke about, you know, that desire to score boundaries for Mulapudi, but now sort of transitioning into a second phase of her game. And here we see it. This one squirted past point. A fast outfield today, and it gets to the boundary. So this will do a world of good for Mulapudi's confidence with regularity and a good end to the over as well. This will be a vital partnership. 13 for 1. So Lassie Mulapudi getting the boundary to round out the last over. Her partner at the other end, Mahika Kandanala, she's been there for a while. Remember we mentioned in terms of the nature of this surface, how difficult it is to actually start. So it'll be interesting to see how Kandanala already structures her innings. She's already been at the crease for 23 minutes. Great to have some sunshine finally here in Fort Lauderdale. We've had days full of rain, inclement weather, flooding. Almost reminds me of my hometown, Barbados. Great to see this sunshine. We walked out there into the middle this morning, and it was fantastic to have that sunlight just striking my face. Of these opening bowlers, in terms of Sarah Farouk, she's been outstanding in terms of just conceding 3 runs thus far. And Moksha Chaudhary getting the wicket of Cheetna Prasad. I'm very excited about the prospect of Cheetna Prasad. She keeps getting off to those starts in terms of, in the last game, hitting that nice boundary. Today, unable to get off the mark, but she seems to be a nice young player. And I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before she finally is able to break the shackles and get a good performance in. The Western Conference won't be too worried about in terms of the scoring rate because they want to consolidate in this period. Make sure they can get these two to establish that partnership. The more time that Lassie Mulapudi spends at the crease, as we see a second fielder being placed in that slip cordon. So they've got that maybe third slip and gully in place. Really trying to attack the outside edge of Lassie Mulapudi. She plays her shot. She won't be fazed by that. And she'll love the fact that she's batting in the power play overs. But one thing that the coach, Julia Price, would have mentioned about Mulapudi is trying to see her game transition into the second phase. This one in the air, chance of a catch and gone. So now the second strike for the Western Conference. And she's disgusted. Mulapudi, soft dismissal. The catching this time was good enough and a big wicket. This is a dangerous wicket for the Eastern Central Conference. Mulapudi gone for 4. They lose their second. The Western at 15 for 2. Erica Rendler, the new batsman, to the crease, and what an over it was for the Eastern Central Conference of wicket taking over for them. Success at the end of 6. It's 15 for 2. So Moksha Chaudhary, already a wicket to her name. And who better to have in the commentary box joining me to get her perspective on one of her players. She'll be extremely happy with this start from the Eastern Central Conference. Remember, 1 down in this series. Coach Price, good morning to you. Great day for cricket. Looks fantastic.
It is. It's great to have some good weather. Getting this game kicking off. Like you said, Moksha Chaudhary and Sarah Farouk are off to a good start again, as they were on the first game that was washed out, which was incomplete, unfortunately, for them. But they've both been bowling some really good areas and taking advantage of the climatic conditions. Good little bit of swing, in swing from Moksha Chaudhary at this end, and away swing with Sarah Farouk at the other end.
Yeah, the consistency from Chaudhary as well as Farouk has been excellent. Probably what's led to those initial 2 wickets. And we were speaking about Lassie Mulapudi at length in the last game. How big of a wicket do you think that is inside the power play overs?
Yeah, I think it's a big wicket for them. She's got a really good intent about her, good energy.